Good morning. Good morning, friend. Hi. Hi. How are you today? Okay, good morning, everybody. I just got out to get to work this morning. I'm running a little bit late. I wanted to be out here early so that I could be in the raised bed garden for at least 2 hours. I have a bunch more tomatoes to plant in the tomato terraces, and so there's a lot to do still. But it really hit me this morning, and I just felt like I had to talk about it. So I was so excited for the first time to have all of this lavender that I grew. I've got I've got about 50 plants. And I had envisioned creating a new terrace down here and just having lavender. Apparently the deer kind of leave it alone. It's a very strong taste, and so I could imagine having another terrace just with lavender and they wouldn't bother it. But I was talking to my good friend this morning, and he said, "But can you eat it?" He said, "You have more lavender than potatoes growing." And I thought, wow, yes, I want to have a beautiful garden with flowers and beneficial to attract the pollinators, the beneficial insects, and all of that. But at the end of the day, we have to consider do we have enough food to get us to the next harvest stored from last year? So going forward, am I going to be growing enough food right now to get me to the next harvest? So we're going to head down. I'll show you the terraces, and I really want to do a complete tour so you can see what I've got growing. Especially those, if you're new to my channel, I'm on a little over 9 acres. About 4 something acres are cleared for growing food and flowers. That's my cat. She's pooping in one of the holes that was dug for a tomato. Thank you very much. And I'm not going to try to run and catch her and stop it. I can't risk that. But, I have a lot growing, but do I have enough actual food to sustain me until August of 2024? Think about that. Are you growing enough? Probably not. Most people aren't. One of my most popular videos right now is how to plant potatoes in a container or grow bags. And it's still getting a lot of traction even though it's 2 years old. And I'm thinking it's because people are saying, hey, if nothing else, let me be growing potatoes, because potatoes are survival food. And so I have a feeling that's what's going through people's minds. You can have all the pretty things you want, but what are those basics that are going to sustain you when you go in to sit down and eat? Beans are great, but beans are not a complete protein. You need meat, or you need beans and rice. Obviously, I'm not going to be growing rice here, although everything's very wet. Maybe I could, but no. And so I've just wanted to have a very varied garden that's beautiful, that has a lot of different kinds of fruits and trees and berries and all of that. I mean, who wouldn't? I had such a tiny garden in California for all those years, and I just had a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so now I'll show you my terrace here. My helper Randy was here the other day, and he got all these holes drilled, so I theoretically could have a lot of tomatoes at the end of the season. You can't live on tomatoes, though. Tomatoes are a great thing to can so that you can make soups and stews and and add it, for nutrition, for vitamins, but you need something of substance, and you need to be growing as many potatoes as you possibly can, unless you can grow rice, which not many people can. So even corn, I've doubled I think I've doubled my planting of corn. We'll see. I had some problems, but I'll talk about that in a separate video. But just think about, what will you do? Everything I have thought about since I've been here is growing enough food so that if my sons can't eat, they could show up here and, work for food. Nobody's getting a free meal. There's too much work to do. That's what drives me, is just try to do as much as you possibly physically can do, because as you can see from all the videos that you see on YouTube and elsewhere, it's really crunch time. All the things I talked about in my videos last year, everything except the diesel video has come true. The diesel was going to run out by Thanksgiving, and that didn't happen, although there were shortages in a number of places. But last year I was talking about all the things that have actually come to fruition. The ESG score, environmental social governance, that's the real big one right now. So there's all these distractions, between all these personal investigations and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they're just trying to deflect from this ESG score, which is why all these companies are going down in flames. They don't care, because it's more important that they have a good ESG score than to have consumer confidence and people buying. And it's because, they're just like the corporations are going to be controlled, so are the people. I was hearing yesterday that the whole goal is to get people to think and to buy certain things, and if you don't, it will reflect badly on your financial credit score, and then you won't be able to borrow money or buy beef at the store, whatever it is that they're trying to do. So anyway, we have to do everything that we can do to actually produce more food. Yes, I have a lot of things I want to do here in terms of medicinal plant videos. I want to do plantain. I want to do yarrow. It's blooming. There's a lot of things growing here that I want to make videos of, and people are very interested in that, and I'm going to do that. But I just felt like I had to say, right now it's crunch time. It's past crunch time. It's now or never time to get a garden in certain zones. I mean, I know in the north, it's just coming into time now, so you've got plenty of time. If you're farther north, the birds are down in my lower garden. I hope they're not getting the seeds. They're very good about that. I hope they're just going for the worms and the insects. But anyway, just think about, what do you have that's going to sustain you until next year? If you don't have a big garden, if you're not able to grow a big garden physically, financially, do you have stored food that could get you at least until next August? Do you have stored food that could get you for 5 years? That's what my friend asked me today, and I said, I don't know. I wouldn't be eating like I've been eating lately. With all the wonderful food I've had lately, we wouldn't be eating all that, but maybe I have enough to get by. I don't know. But it's definitely something that we need to be thinking about, and I encourage everybody to just think, okay, what could I grow that I could barter and that could sustain me for a year? Can you eat it? Can I eat English lavender? Now, I was thinking, I could sell it, but You know, Tennessee is not the ideal environment to grow lavender, although in my flower garden over here, I have lavender that has come back. I just 2 plants, but anyway, thanks so much for listening. I just had to share these thoughts today. I need to get busy before the sun hits these terraces, and I hope you have a great day. I hope this is giving you something to think about and some marching orders to get busy doing. Nope, you do that somewhere else. Okay. So this got rained on. Yeah. Look at my visitor to the garden. Look at the camouflage on that. From a distance, you would never even see that. Now, I think you like tomatoes, so I might have to put a little fencing around this once they get going. So if I could live on tomatoes, and if all of these did well, you know, I might be able to make it for a year. I was thinking I could sell them. You know, at some point you have to turn a profit if you want a tax write-off for your farm. I don't know if that would ever happen, but anyway. I'm planting with gypsum for the first time. I didn't know about it, and I've been planting in clay soil in California and here, and it's like these little gray pebbly things, and they have a tendency to sink, so you want to just get that stirred in well. I use Ivy Organic all-purpose plant fertilizer 333 with macronutrients as well. You can order that through the link on underneath my video. These tomatoes have gotten very leggy, waiting and waiting and waiting for months. So I'm gonna put them to bed. I did a video on that recently about how you lay them sideways like this, and then you point this up, so you only have this much sticking out of the ground. And the whole length of this stem can make roots and make the plant stronger. These holes were drilled with an auger, so I can go really deep. But I think this one's gonna need support right away. Hey, you gonna help? I had every weed out of this. Look at all that mycelium. The wood chips breaking down produces all that mycelium. Mycelium is what holds the forest together. That's the little fibers that run in between the fungi. I'm practically planting in wood chips. You're not supposed to, but it's so broken down. It's close to being just soil. And I'll come back with my compost and put more around. So there's 3 more. One bad thing about wood chips is the weeds love them. Look at this. This is crabgrass. Look at that. That would have swallowed up that pepper plant in about 2 weeks. I just saved your life, sweet chocolate. Okay, the first terrace got done. All except for this hole over here where all the weeds are. I'm gonna wait. And I've got a handful of peppers in this first section here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the rest are tomatoes. And that's a big fat cat. Spot. Yes, that's Spot. Big boy. Volunteer. Whew. Okay, I got a little hot there, but I just wanted to get, oh, my face is red, I see that. Okay, I'm good. I just climbed a little bit up the hill. All the tomatoes are planted, except I saved like 3 or 4 for replacements, you know, for things that don't look like they are gonna make it. But yeah, I'm eager to talk about the difference between planting tomatoes here, down there, and all the different places. It's so different. Oh my gosh, planting, yeah, it's so different. So, hey, thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you hit that subscribe button and click all for all notifications. Welcome to all my new subscribers. So excited for everybody to be here sharing the good news. All right, take care. I'll see you next time. In terms of my tomatoes, there's, I think there's, I'm going to get you a count with all the varieties if possible. Record keeping is my biggest weakness. If you're a new gardener, just get into the habit of taking good records. I labeled everything except sometimes it would be, I would put one tag, you know, just to save time in a row. Well, things get shifted around because some things make it, some things don't. And by the time you set them out, half of them don't even have tags. It's ridiculous. So I did do much better with my peppers this year. And all my peppers are planted. Isn't that amazing? Oh, gosh. I'm going to get you a number, but for sure over 100 tomatoes, and for sure over 50 peppers, for sure. And then we planted a bunch of Randy's peppers down here. He's been working on this variety, you know, working on it, developing it over the years. It's supposed to be super hot. And we must have put in 20 or 30 of those. So anyway, thanks so much.